live.
We don't have Tootsie, but we're getting a rant.
No, it's kind of a quiet call today. Anyway,
No.
we just watched Friendship University. This was one of the episodes that aired in Australia like a week ago, so there might be a little bit less excitement, in the fandom. A lot of people probably already saw it, but hey, it's our first time seeing it, right?
Yeah, I didn't see it. I have a lot of things to say about this episode.
Yeah.
I'll wait.
Anyway, so this was an interesting one. Return of a lot of characters here. I mean, just going through the screenshots, we even got Tree Hugger in like a quick scene there.
We did.
Yeah.
Yeah, and remember the first pony that was shown was also the same pony that Tyrek stole the life force out of.
Really?
Oh yeah, it was the one that was like it had like the emerald cutie mark. That
Yeah,
one.
in the
yeah?
Dark
Really?
Alley. Yeah.
I didn't even notice that. So anyway, the story here is there's a couple of little things going on here. Like first of all, Star Swirl, we see him traveling the world, learning stuff. That's interesting. I was hoping we'd see that. And then of course the main plot here is Flim and Flam open up a rival school, which is kind of an interesting idea.
Dun, dun, dun. And they appear to be actually genuinely invested in teaching friendship.
Yeah, of course they are.
Of course they would be, except
Of course they were
they
for
were
the
just-
first half.
not because they're Flim and Flam. And
Wait,
they
what's
must be
the-
bad.
Con artists.
What's the friendship is witchcraft thing about the crystal ball?
Pinky's Brew, was it?
No, because Flim and Flam had all of Ponyville in their crystal ball. Snow Globe, it really is.
Wait, was that a friendship and witchcraft thing?
Isn't it? I don't
I
know.
don't know.
I just thought of it, but it's probably not related.
I've not watched that in like.
Yeah, it was like Pinky's Brew. That was the name of the song.
Yeah.
So it's a really simple and straightforward story. Again, rival school is EEA credited, and they accuse Twilight of being jealous, but then she unravels in some scam where they're using the money for other things, and that was kind of it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like,
the
again,
EA accredited an outright scam.
I feel like, again, this is a good example of a really simple and straightforward story, which the ponies do well, and then a lot of interesting and fun things along the way. A lot of funny
There's
moments.
very good humor. I love the humor.
Like I'm to the spot in the screenshot where Rarity thinks that Star Swirl's a disguise, and she's trying to rip on his beard.
Oh
So
yeah,
that's
that was
funny.
great.
Yeah.
I was genuinely caught off guard with the with Twilight going like, Rarity, this is not a disguise. This is an eye patch.
Oh yeah, and I like
Yeah.
Rarity's disguise. She looks cool like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Rarity's was
Calamity.
really good.
But then,
And then like the first chance they got, they were like, "Did you really think that was a good disguise?" She was like, "No, I didn't."
yeah, I don't know what. I guess that was like a joke, but it felt weird. Like what were you either of you thinking?
I liked the joke. I feel like it worked very well.
It's like, gee, Twy, I really like your disguise. It totally doesn't give away the alicorn wings and horn.
And speaking of giving stuff away, there was an interesting little subplot there where Rarity was really good with the generosity lessons, and turns out it was because it's her lessons. They didn't
Oh,
reveal that
yeah.
to the end.
I didn't realize that that's what the lessons were. I wasn't really listening to
Uh,
either Flim or Flam.
Yeah, I guess at
That
the end
much.
they find out they were just using the friendship school's lessons, which
They just skipped every other page.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
half the time. Yeah. So again, you mentioned I'm seeing the screenshots where you mentioned Twilight being revealed. Did you really think we would be fooled by that one eye patch?
No.
Again, like I don't.
Yeah.
That
it's
felt-
a great disguise.
That's like the only joke that felt out of place to me because no, of course not. I don't know, but then her response was perfect. So
Yeah, I feel like her response was what sold it.
yeah,
Yeah.
and we got some good funny faces out there. Got to make these Discord emoji soon.
Yay, Discord emojis.
Yay.
Oh yeah, Jessica points out first it was Punk Rarity, and now we have Planity.
Ah, yeah. Oh yeah. So we got eye patch and
Planety.
Planety as their alternate names.
Which I love the post-it note just like taped to her flank. That's just a pony with an eye patch.
Yep, yep. A new alicorn, right? Who's this alicorn?
Is that an animation error?
Ding. So, all right. Again, I feel like I'm struggling to talk about this episode because it was a pretty straightforward one. All the good parts were just, jokes here and there. For example, the best joke in the entire episode, and maybe the whole season, was when Rarity reveals herself as Rarity, and they say, "Who?"
I'm not Rarity, or I'm not Planity. I'm Rarity. Who?
Yeah, that was so perfect. The timing, everything about it was
Timing,
perfect.
delivery.
I got quite a laugh out of that
That
one.
Yeah.
I might have laughed harder at that joke than any other joke in like the whole show.
It was really good.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Also,
can we
oh, go ahead.
Okay, you go ahead.
Oh.
No, you. I've
No, you.
got
After
negative
you.
things to
After
say.
you.
Okay.
So-
After you. I insist.
After you, I feel.
I was gonna say
I know.
they mentioned, and I wonder if there was like an alternate story here that was cut out. They mentioned level of classes, Is that like a dig at multi-level marketing?
Maybe it's like a pyramid scheme.
I feel like maybe that's what the episode was going to be, and then they didn't go with that because that's too much for kids or something.
Yeah, I feel like it was a bit excessive that the evil plot was that the business ponies wanted to expand their business.
Yeah, I feel
How dare they?
it makes sense that they were going to go with multi-level marketing, but that wasn't in it. Like
But,
oh, what
like,
level of classes
Hasbro's
are you
like-
at?
Then Hasbro was like, "No, you can't make fun of us.
No, they're not multi-level. I don't think that's how that works.
No, they're not multi-level. They're a toy company."
But the way there's like a pyramid, they're on top. Obviously, they have a room full of their riches, and they even have the little thermometer of money. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things pointing to like an alternate story here that wasn't actually told. I think that's
that,
interesting.
yeah, that wasn't them expanding their business.
Yeah, I guess that's normal. Maybe I'm looking too deep into it. But again, they mentioned a couple times like level of classes, level of studies, like what level are you able to afford?
Yeah, I feel like
I'm on
it
level
was kind of
one
going for like a
still.
level scheme.
Yeah, that would have been cool if they went all in with that.
Yeah, but instead we got the evil business ponies are expanding their business. How dare they?
Yeah. So how do we feel about that? Like they were just using the money to expand.
I don't like that because like sure it's a scam,
Yeah.
but it's not that bad of a scam. Like I could, if I went to a college and like they were using the money for the college to make a casino better, it wouldn't be the best use of funds, but I could at least see the goal for it.
And really the bigger scandal is that they were stealing friendship lessons from Twilight School. Why isn't that
Yeah,
a big
like-
reveal?
Yeah, that's
Yeah, why isn't that like it's an accredited school? Why is that not a bit? It's literal plagiarism.
Yeah, I don't know why. I think
Like
someone
the
mentioned in the
EA.
chat, why is the accredited thing given any recognition in Equestria? Like, obviously, they don't know what
Yeah.
they're doing.
Twilight forgot to trademark it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The more they bring up the EA, the less they seem like a reputable source of information.
Yeah, I
Like,
feel like this show could be making them bigger in a better way. I don't know how to describe it, but it just feels like it's just there to be there.
Yeah, like they're just there to be antagonists, but they're not good antagonists. They're
No.
just kind of terrible. Like I could poke so many holes in them.
And then, of course, the ending is just Flim and Flam decide, okay, we'll give them their money back. Like, okay, like they didn't have any kind
I'm
of
surprised like,
plan
they just
B.
run away with the money.
Yeah, like they didn't have an idea of just take the money and run. That would have been fun to see them try to
Yeah,
take the
wait,
money. And run.
Yeah.
haven't they
Yeah.
done that in the past or something? Yeah.
I think they've always just kind of backed down when they get caught.
It would have been good to see him take the money and run, and then like Twilight's like, it's okay, you can all have
Wait,
free
did it-
lessons at my school or something like that. Right?
No, it's okay. You can all
Yeah.
have free
Didn't
money
they do that
here.
for
It
the Apple
makes money.
Cider episode though? Didn't they?
They ran away in Cider episode, didn't they? Yeah.
Probably.
Oh, and Hojo Kono asked in the chat, is Cheerly School EEA accredited?
Ooh, no, I pointed out earlier that Twilight needed to make some kind of backdoor deal with Flim and Flam that they need to go to the Friendship University first. They want to graduate from the from Twilight School,
Yeah.
so that way they can make an actual college scam.
Yeah, with a story this relatively simple of just rival school, Flim and Flam, and a bunch of returning characters, like they could have gone in any number of directions. I suppose we could theorize about that all day long, really.
So wait a minute. Since you mentioned Charlie's School, now that friendship school is a thing, does that mean Charlie's out of business?
Oh,
Well, no, she
I
does
feel
kids.
like yeah, she just teaches kids.
Yeah, she just
Yeah.
Phillies.
Oh, okay.
Like Friendship School is basically just kindergarten.
Yeah.
So
that
Wait,
they're applying
Friendship
to it all.
school's not kindergarten. Cheerly School is kindergarten, right?
Yeah, no, I'm
Yeah,
saying like the
sure.
lesson.
Yeah.
I'm saying like the lessons taught
Kindergarten
in a
for
friendship
Phillies,
school,
though,
and
not
like
for
be
all
nice to your
ages.
friends, be a good
No,
person.
not in Equestria. That's normal in Equestria. That's like high school studies.
yeah, so friendship school is pretty much high school,
Yeah.
I guess.
I think that's what they're going for here. I'm still not sure
Can I
because
get-
they have
Can I get a
like,
degree in friendship?
like the CMC and Cozy Glow wanted to be or are or were whatever in the
Get a
school.
degree at
Like, and then they also have
Friendship
adults. I don't know.
Yeah, it's weird. Like just a thought that came out of nowhere. Does this mean Charlie's out of business or something?
No, I think I think that's separate. But yeah, good point.
Maybe business is slow for her.
And I like how it was a quick mention at the beginning. Another nice callback is how Star Swirl was writing letters to Twilight. It was a brief thing, but really nice. And of course,
Star
Return of
Swirl's
Cozy
now
Glow.
the
I'm just going
student.
back through the screenshots at this point. We got okay. So really, I want to really quick open up the discussion. We got a lot of new characters, not new, but we got a lot of returns of characters. We got Naysayer, and then we got Cozy Glow even, and then we got Flim and Flam, obviously. And does anybody else feel like it's just a little too crowded, maybe sometimes?
Yeah, like it's like there's
Not
too many
really
cooks in the
for me.
kitchen.
I don't know. I mean,
I think the term is jumping the shark. They're just throwing a bunch of stuff at the screen to see what sticks.
yeah. I mean, honestly, I didn't really like I don't know. I don't know if I'm the only one feeling this, but like I don't really see why they had to put Tree Hugger in there.
Well, that was a normal cameo. She didn't speak or
Yeah,
anything.
it's
I
just
can
like,
understand
yeah.
that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just normal. Hey, reuse asset number 6.
I exist. Yeah, I don't really
Assist
care when
everybody.
they have little surprise cameos in the background like that. I think that's okay. It's when they have a bunch of relatively main characters actually serving a purpose. It feels credited. Like, how would you describe Starswirl's role? He was kind of just there, and then he changed his mind, and everything was happy in the end. Like, I don't know. It's not really focused on any one character, and I don't know how I feel about that.
I think it's because like Twilight sees him as an idol and all that,
Yeah.
and it's pretty
Yeah,
much
yeah,
what
yeah.
drives her into like getting into Flume Flam's business
Well,
and all that sort of thing. I guess.
Yeah, I guess now I think about it, she's being accused of jealousy, and she even questioned that herself. Maybe she was just jealous that Starswirl was going to this school, and I think that's interesting. How it's not one-sided. It's not just evil Flim and Flam. There actually was some jealousy involved with Twilight.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Thought that was pretty
What's
cool.
that? Twilight gets jealous? No.
Yeah, but it was
Oh,
subtle
that-
enough where it wasn't like that was what the episode was about. But
Yeah.
it was still there to be a driving force. I thought that was cool. Pretty subtle.
She was definitely in character, I would say, for the entire episode.
Yeah.
It was good to see.
Yeah.
All right, should we jump into individual ratings and reviews?
I think we can.
Yeah.
Unless we have any other
guess.
comments.
Why does the EEA get to accredit schools if they're this stupid? That's my final remark.
All right, go for it, Lexi.
Okay, so I really like this episode. I thought it was a good, straightforward episode. Like I don't really have too many issues with it. I mean, I don't really have much to say other than it's a good episode. I really enjoyed like the Flim and Flam musical. It was like a nice little throwback to Super Speedy Cider Squeezy. I got it right. But yeah, like that was quite a throwback for me because it felt like Super Speedy version 2.0 really. And yeah, I really like the idea. Like I got a good amount of laughs, like with Twilight's disguise. Did you think that this disguise would fool anybody? No. And like the whole I'm not plainity, I'm rarity, which really got me laughing. It was like this episode delivered a lot of laughs, and I really don't have anything bad to say about it. So I'm gonna give this episode like a 9.5 out of 10.
Ooh, all right, 9.5.
Nice.
All right, I suppose I'm next in the list, but I'm going to wrap things up. So, Sonic Crew, what did you think?
Mostly my thoughts are about the same as Lexi's. Like, I literally have little to no complaints about this episode. It's pretty straightforward. Some nice little chuckles here and there with like the disguises and as for like, well, actually, nah, screw that. Never mind. I literally have nothing to complain at all about this episode. So, I'm gonna give this a 9 out of 10.
Wow, all right. Pretty high rating so
Yeah.
far. Turtle Pain, what'd you think? Oh, here we go.
Yay, rant time.
Go
So I'm going to start off by
Number
saying, that it is a good episode. I did like it. However, this is where the bad stuff comes in. It says a lot politically, and just kind of like the fact that we're so far into the show, as Little Shy brought up, that we're taking so many characters and just kind of throwing them back to the audience. Like, hey, remember Flim and Flam? Hey, remember Tree Hugger? Remember Cozy Glow? Remember Star Swirl? Hey, look, here's the EA. There's a bunch of stuff thrown at us. Be like, hey, which one do you like? It feels a little just kind of cluttered with all these characters in here. It's not a bad story, but I feel like we could have gotten maybe a new character, or just maybe use less of Tree Hugger didn't really need to make a cameo. Maybe put someone in that would have helped further the story along. But I mean, it wasn't terrible. It doesn't detract from the overall story. The other problem I have is like, why does Twilight even care about what the EEA says? Because they wouldn't accredit her school, and from what she believes, her school was teaching ponies and every creature the importance of friendship, and it is what a school should be. And looking at Flim and Flam School, sure, they were teaching ponies first and following the EEA guidelines, but then we find out later on the EEA is backing an outright scam. So they can't be like threatening at all anymore from this point on, aside from they have a little stamp of approval they can put on documents. Like, you could say you're accredited. Okay, who are you accredited by? A child with a stamp. That's who says I'm accredited. So I feel like I like this episode, but it kind of undermines the EEA as a villain. Like, it deplatforms them in a way. But I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up my opinion by saying it was a funny episode. It was really good, and I think overall I'm gonna give it like an 8 out of 10.
All right, sounds good. Suppose it's my turn. Let me just reset this. So, yeah, on the whole, I agree with pretty much everything that's been said so far. I wish we had some conflict here. We could argue about something, but no, it was a pretty straightforward episode. Again, like Turtle said, my biggest complaint would be it just felt a little muddled. There was a lot going on, different characters, and it didn't really focus on any one storyline there. Obviously, we have Flim and Flam wanting to earn money and expand their casino. That was really the only story that was well-rounded and kind of had a beginning and end. And I guess you could argue the ending was a little simple and like, oh, they just gave the money back at the end. Everyone's happy. It would have been cool if they ran away and left it on something more interesting than that. But anyway, pretty straightforward, standard stuff. But like Turtle mentioned, the EEA, I thought that was one of the kind of sub-stories going on in the background about the EEA credit schools, and they're very held in high esteem, and they're very, I don't know how you describe it, they're very big, But this episode makes them seem small. Like, Naysayer would just walk into this scam school and just say, hey, you're accredited, and that's it. There's no paperwork. There's no council approval. There's nothing like we had in the initial episode. I think it was the premiere. So there was no fallout or closure to that sub-story there about the EEA approving a scam school. Did we even hear from Naysayer in the end? I think he just kind of disappeared. I'm not sure what happened.
He kind of disappeared, yeah. He didn't really unaccredit them. He didn't revoke his opinion.
So when you have many characters with their own little relatively subtle storylines going on, we don't really get any closure or fallout or consequences for things that happen because there's just too much going on. We can't follow if we followed each and every single new character or return character, like Star Swirl. I guess we got pretty good stuff from him. It was nice to see him on his travels. I really like that a lot. But his role in the school just kind of felt muddled. Like, he's just sort of there to make Twilight jealous. Again, that makes sense. But then the ending, I guess I'm hung up on the ending. I felt like there was a lot of loose ends with all these different characters. Not a huge complaint, though. I liked the episode on the whole. A lot of funny jokes. I don't know if I can even call them complaints, just notes I have written down. Twilight really could have just left things well enough alone and just kind of like went back to her own school and ignored everything. This wasn't a friendship quest. I don't think her butt called her there or anything. It wasn't that important, She could have just went home and ignored it, but then we wouldn't have an episode, so there's that. And again, I mentioned earlier, I wish they went all in on the multi-level marketing scheme, because they mentioned what level of classes, how much can you afford, that sort of thing. If they went all in with multi-level marketing, that would have been really cool, and actually a good lesson for kids to watch out for in the future. So another quick thing, I'm running out of time, I'm trying to time myself, but another quick thing is, which is better, I should have mentioned this in the discussion, but bringing in a bunch of old characters like this to play a role in an episode, or just introducing a new character to focus on. And that's kind of open to interpretation, just kind of throwing that out there, because I don't have an answer. I think it works both ways. They could have introduced a new character to run this school and be the bad guy and all that, and maybe even associate that with the EEA and all that. But no, they brought back Flim and Flam, which is actually nice to see. I like those two characters, so I'm kind of torn. That's not really a good point or a bad point. It's just interesting whether or not you bring old characters or make new ones. So yeah, my rating on a whole, I'm going to match Turtle Pain. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10 as well.
Yay, I was right.
So yeah, I might have had a lot of complaints there, but no, still, I enjoyed the episode on the whole. So our average is, are we rounding?
8.
No, I suppose we round up. It's an 8.6, so let's give it a 9.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So yeah, 9 out of 10 from the Little Shy live stream for Friendship University.
Yeah.
All right, everyone, thanks for stopping by. Be sure to tune in next week. We're going to do this for every new episode, I suppose, in the United States airings at least. I don't know about Australia and all that. Maybe we'll figure something
Better
out.
country.
Yeah, is there also Sweden now or something? These episodes keep airing really early.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, thanks for stopping by, and see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye, Internet. Yeah, it's my line.
Bye.